lion keepers here at the Kansas City Zoo. Today we have our two girls on exhibit. It's Nala and Zuri. Nala was born in 2001 and Zuri was born in 2005. We actually have a total of 6 lions here at the zoo. Our other group of lions is the boys, and there are 4 of them: Shangaza, Jabari, Shikari, and Mufasa. Now, all of our lions were born here at the Kansas City Zoo. The original plan was to have all 10 lions together. However, boys being boys, they tried to take over the pride, and so we decided to go ahead and create 2 groups. So now we have our girl group and our boy group. Now, in the wild, a pride is made up of related brothers and then related females. So the females are not related to the males, but each group is related to each other. Now, when a group of males comes in to take over a pride, they battle with the active males in that pride, and if they win, they get rights to the whole entire pride. So in the wild also, boys, when they hit about 1.5 to 2 years old, they're kicked out of the pride so that they can then go find their own pride to take over. So that's why when a group of males takes over a pride, it is all brothers, because that's how they're kicked out of the pride. Now, once they are removed from the pride, they create the coalition, is what it's called, and they go out and they'll spend some time, just the boys, hunting. However, most people ask me all the time, is it true the girls do all the hunting? Now, to a point, yes, that is true. The females are the ones that hunt. The reason that is there are a lot more females in the pride than males. The females are around 250 to 300 pounds, where a male lion is around 450 to 500 pounds. Also, most male lions have that big, gorgeous mane that you expect a male lion to have. So if they're trying to sneak through the savanna grasses, they're 500 pounds and they have all that extra hair. They're going to get spotted a lot faster than a tiny female who has not all that extra hair. So the females do go out to hunt together. There's a lot of them and they go together. However, they are not very good at hunting. So they are only successful about 25% of the time. That means 85% of the time they are not coming back with any food for the pride. Well, so what does that mean? Well, if you're not very good at hunting and you don't want to waste energy, you're going to sleep all the time. So lions sleep 20 to 22 hours a day to reserve energy. The only reason they get up and are active is if they are going out to hunt. So then when they go out to hunt, if they successfully get something, they bring it back to the entire pride. The males get to eat first, then the females, and then the cubs. The cubs don't need to eat as much, so that's why they're last. So here at the zoo, obviously, our lions get fed a diet specifically formulated for them. It's a ground meat, and it's mixed with a kibble because the kibble is helpful for their teeth. However, we do not want our lions to get super, super fat because obviously they don't have to hunt for their food. So we do weigh them about once a month to make sure that they're nice and healthy and stay the right weight. And as they gain or lose, we adjust their diet as such. Now, because lions in the wild do not eat every day, we want to simulate that here at the zoo, and we give them what's called a fast day. So every Wednesday, which is today, they only get a bone instead of their meat diet. They get very excited about bone day. It's probably their favorite day. And they get a large bone and they get to eat that instead. And they do consume majority of the bone. So believe it or not, their teeth are very powerful and they actually can crunch down an entire femur bone. So it's pretty impressive. Now, we never share the space with the lions here at the zoo. We always have a protective barrier because they are wild animals. Even though they were born here, they have all the natural traits as a wild lion. So they will come and they will interact with us at the mesh. They are trained to present their paws, open their mouths so we can check over their teeth. Several of them are trained to go into a restraint so we can draw blood from their tail. We also can do hand injections in the restraint so that way it's a lot less stressful on them. And we can basically have them do different behaviors to make sure that they're nice and healthy. It also keeps the relationship with us so that if we do need to treat them for anything, they are willing to participate.